Michael Velasco, Private Accounting Services. I'm excited today because we're going to go over the S-Corp versus the LLC. One of the most misunderstood differentiations in businesses and the way we tax businesses. So today I really want to break it down for you in a very elementary way, very easy to understand. The information I wish I had 10 years ago forming different businesses. But today, let's break it down. Let's make it really easy for you to understand. Let's get going on the S-Corp versus the LLC. So let's first look at the two differences. First, there's a regular LLC or a sole proprietor, single member LLC, and then there's an LLC taxed as an S-Corp. So for this example, we're going to talk about the 15.3% unemployment tax. Both as an S-Corp and an LLC, you're going to be taxed because you receive 1099 income or you're a small business owner, you're going to be taxed at the tax rate of 15.3%. That tax rate is on top of your state and federal taxes. That's right, it's actually a penalty to be a small business owner. So know that number, it's 15.3% on top of your federal and state taxes. So I'm going to draw a simple example of a $100,000 net profit. Net profit obviously is your all of your expenses minus your income. That's going to give you a net profit as a business. So for this example, we're going to go over $100,000 in net profit first for a sole proprietor LLC. So let's break down just a standard LLC, not taxed as an S-Corp, either a sole proprietor, single member, and we're going to break down the net profit of $100,000. So for $100,000 in income, we're going to take 15.3% of self-employment tax. We're going to take the state and federal taxes on top of that. So let's say you're in a combined tax bracket of 20%. You're going to be taking that $15,300 and adding it to the additional 20% state and federal taxes. So that's right, you're going to be paying $35,300 in taxes. So that should bring you a lot of pause as a business owner. And that's kind of the breaking point, that $70,000, $80,000 a year net profit, where we begin to advise clients to start an S-Corp. Because the savings are pretty astronomical when you start to compare the two. Okay, so now let's take a look at what the S-Corp would be paying in taxes if they drew a reasonable salary. So the IRS dictates to us that we have to give a reasonable salary. And that prevents us from taking all of the profits as a dividend or a distribution. So for an S-Corp, $100,000, same example, $100,000, you take a $35,000 salary, and that salary is taxed with the self-employment tax. So you'll pay the self-employment tax of 15.3% on top of your state and federal taxes on your $35,000 salary. Then the IRS allows us to take a dividend or distribution on the other $65,000. That $65,000 is not required to have the additional 15.3%. So you'll pay your regular earnings, regular taxes, state and federal, on that $65,000. So let's take a look at the two scenarios side by side. We have the $100,000 sole proprietor paying $35,000 in taxes, and then you have the S-Corp LLC taxed as an S-Corp paying $25,355, a total tax savings of $9,945. So there are some costs incurred with setting up an S-Corp and filing the S-Corp, such as your payroll fees with your payroll company you decide to hire. But I think those fees are way outweighed by the savings. But it is something to consider. There will be some additional cost to set up that S-Corp and then to service that payroll. So you're probably asking yourself, why haven't I set up an S-Corp? I think it's a really, really good question. And if you're making a significant amount of money in your business or your 1099 income, I think it's certainly worth looking into. And you should certainly do that with your tax professional if you have one already. We could certainly help you here at Private Accounting Services. We can walk you through all the steps. We even have a service for setting that all up for you. So if we can be of help, please reach out, and we really hope this video you found really, really useful, and hopefully you got a lot more knowledge since you've watched it. Thanks so much for watching.